Hello and welcome to an SI Capital podcast. Today I have Shaun Day of Greatland Gold. Hi Shaun, thanks for joining us.
Hi Charlie, good to catch up again, and thanks very much for having me on today.
No, thanks for coming on. So yesterday you came up with an announcement about your exploration activities over in the Paterson. So I was hoping to hear a little bit about what you've been doing over there. And what we should be expecting as investors in Greatland Gold from these particular activities that you're doing.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Look, what we're trying to do with our exploration program is unlock some of this option value in our portfolio. The best place to look for gold and copper is where it's already been found, and the Paterson is elephant country. You have Havieron, which is absolutely world class. Telfer down the road, again, top 5 Australian asset for 3 decades. And then up to the north, you have Rio Tinto's Winu project. So our program is designed to try to test high quality targets and unlock that value for our shareholders. We're excited about this year's program, and there's some high quality targets in the portfolio, which will be tested not just this year but over several years. But we're really excited about this year's program particularly.
So reading into this RNS though, most explorers will they've got a lot of outcrops, but also the traditional way is just to plug holes into these targets because these are geophysical targets you've got. You don't seem to be doing that. There's a bit more technical analysis going on rather than just plugging away.
Yeah, Charlie, look, I think when you think about the way Greatland approaches exploration, it's very technically led. And what I mean from that is we're really doing our work from first principles. We're building up our geological understanding. We're doing a lot of geophysical work to refine our targeting process. And what we're trying to do is target or test a high number of targets. So what we tend to do is rather than having a target, punching 15 holes into it and running that to ground in one hit, what we will do is put 1, maybe 2 holes into a broader range of targets. Then we will take that information, reassess, reprocess that information, and refine our understanding of the target. It's a very technically led process. I think we are highly respected for the way we go about this. And it means, firstly, we're able to cover a larger number of targets in a program, but also it makes it a very cost efficient way of understanding your broader portfolio. So we're very comfortable with that approach, and we think it's a very high quality approach.
Well, you're in a quite unique position, I guess, from most explorers, being that you have made, can we use the word world class, but it is a top quality asset, Havieron, that you've discovered. That's a great model to apply and work with in other areas. So really though, that was quite an amazing initial discovery. What to you though would be success from these exploration campaigns? Because I'm assuming, well, as much as I'd love another had 5 within the first few holes being sunk, from your technical point of view, a success doesn't necessarily need to be a major mineralizing intercept.
Yeah, look, so let me first jump in there, Charlie, is you use world class, and you should be absolutely confident using world class around Havieron. So you're right to say that. Now, in terms of what we think about is success with our drill campaign, I think there are 3 potential layers of success that you can have in a drill campaign. Firstly and foremostly, obviously, is repeating a had 5. Now, had 5 to this day is still a top 3 intercept into the Havieron ore body. This is a 700 metre by 550 metre with 1.2 kilometre and growing vertical extent. And the first hole, hit the bullseye. Now that is extraordinary, even if you're touching that volume with a drill bit, to have actually kind of nailed the sweet spot. You're not going to do that every time. That shouldn't be your expectation, but that is obviously the outcome where you're popping champagne corks. That's one form of success. I think a second form of success is when we hit brecciation. That's really what we're looking for. We're trying to understand where we find these rocks that have had these events that have created the opportunity to have traps for metal. And then once we're onto those brecciated systems, it gives us a better understanding and a higher potential of finding the metal. So that, again, whether it carries mineralization or only gives us a taste of it, it lets us know we're in the system, and it lets us, again, refine that work, reinterpret the geophysics, and then refine when we come back to that target where we think we're best drilling. And then the third layer of success is when we get an intercept. It's the host rocks we're working on. We have better, information. We understand the stratigraphy better. Again, we're able to refine that, and then we might say, on reflection, we are drilling 300 meters too far south from where we now understand that geophysical target sits. So all those are layers of success. And I think in terms of what constitutes success in a broader sense, you can't expect every deposit we find to be another Havron. Mm-hmm. That is a uniquely wonderful multi-decade asset. Now, of course, we'd love to find another one, but even a half Havron or a quarter Havron would be a stunning opportunity. And of course, because it sits near that infrastructure, it would come into the JV or potentially as a 100% project in short order. So I think success has many faces for us, but I think we're in the right postcode to give us every opportunity to deliver that success for shareholders.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, that you don't necessarily, your hurdle rate requirement for a commercial discovery right now is a lot, well, it's a lot smaller than Javieron. Javieron broke through that critical mass requirement and quite well exceeded that. But it's good to see a system like that. It's a big ore body, and it gives us an indication that potentially along strike there might be that same powerful geological processes which will show up. These alterations, these textures, like you said about the brecciation, these trap structures where we can be finding the gold and vectoring into where we need to, or where the team needs to start looking on next. But I guess one last point on the exploration areas. You do have still these other JVs with Newcrest, and you're still operating them. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So look, a couple of ways to comment on the last comments. Look, when you do a relatively basic, volumetric calculation on Havron, taking into account grade zonations, you can get a broad brush understanding of a 20 million ounce ore body. And that's worth pausing on, a 20 million ounce ore body. But what we have is the area along strike to that northwest, 100% owned Scallywag in particular, and then it goes on to that Jury JV ground that you mentioned. It's rare something like a Havron of that scale is an orphan. So again, it's a cracking place to be looking. We have a drill rig spinning as we speak, RC rig, that's doing effectively the pre-collars, getting through the Permian layer, which is a cheaper, quicker, and more efficient way to get that in place. And then we're going to come back in with the diamond drill rig to bring out core. So we're excited about that. And I talked before around the discipline of our approach to exploration, and I think that's really respected. And I think what's always nice about respect is respect from your peers. So the Jury JV is at a stage where Newcrest has a right to be the manager. Newcrest is obviously a world-class mining company, one of the global global majors. The fact that they are confident to allow us to continue to manage the project, I think speaks volume of our team and volumes of the discipline and the quality of our approach to exploration. And I think further, if you have a look at the Newcrest portfolio, there are other assets where they have taken back the managership even this calendar year, and I think again, I think our shareholders should note that Newcrest continues to have confidence in us being that manager. I think it's been about 12 months that they've extended our tenure in that position. And, and again, I think it's clear why. And we also have other parties talking to us about exploration or strategic partnerships in the Paterson. And I think that's been a hard-won reputation, obviously helped from the discovery of Havieron, but also from the systematic and structured way we go through our portfolio. And, of course, understanding all the nuances around the geology of Havieron only enhances our understanding of what we're looking for. So I think we have a wonderful platform, a wonderful team, and every opportunity to unlock that option value from within the portfolio.
Oh, it certainly gives me, it shows you a lot of, your team's got very credible background in what you're doing. It is credible. Credible is the word I'm looking for. But I can't let you go until we mention a little bit about Havieron and any news updates there. Is there something you can tell us about what's going on the ground?
Yeah, well, look, in the context of an exploration update, I think, look, we continue to drill into Havieron, where, look, I shouldn't front run that, but it's an ore body that has consistently delivered, and we believe it continues to give us every opportunity to do that. We're also looking at some of the exploration opportunities on the mining lease, so stepping outside of Havieron proper. That's very good. Again, finding brecciated areas, makes us think that brecciation zone is maybe bigger than we originally understood, which gives us an opportunity for satellite ore bodies. And Charlie, you mentioned before around having that critical scale. What you see with a lot of developments is once you have that major asset, you can then bring in those satellite deposits. So whether that's up on a 100% scallywag or Rudel or on the Jury JV or on this mining lease, it certainly lowers the economic hurdle when you actually already have the success of Havieron in situ. And then the other one we should talk about is the decline. That continues to progress. We've always articulated that as you get with depth there, that Permian layer is not homogeneous. It becomes better, firmer ground with depth. And I think shareholders should continue to have that expectation. So really pleased across that Havieron JV. We have a wonderful partner in Newcrest, which I think are also an incredibly well-respected and high-quality partner. And I think we add our own unique contribution to that joint venture, and then our exploration in addition to that. So, we're well placed. We're pretty excited about how we're travelling right now from an exploration perspective, and it's great to have the rigs spinning and the team up there on site.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks, Shaun, for giving us an update on yesterday's news release and an update on the progress of the Havieron deposit discovery.
Look, thanks, Charlie. I really appreciate it, and thanks for those that choose to join in or tune into the call. Really appreciate it.